Alright, welcome back everyone to the next episode of Slow Damage. I've been waiting for this. Okay, so we're going to start with the new green ones and then we're going to head over to Tajima's. Because I think Murasaki Clinic will have my favorite guy hanging out. He did say that he's going to head back to the clinic. But, yeah, well, consider me disappointed, okay? Whatever. No idea what the greenness means then. Because there's nothing here. Confused. Maybe we have to go to Tajima's first and then we can go there. Wait, and exploration? No. Or maybe yes? Do we have to? Sorry, I'm a dumbass. Yeah, let's just do that. Hopefully I didn't skip a bunch. But then again, I still kind of figuring out what is happening. 3:56 p.m. On one corner of the residential neighborhood sat a little old shop forgotten by time. It was a snack store called Tajima's, run for many years by little old octogenarian lady. Octogenarian? What does that mean? Octo's 8. 8 generation lady? What? I have no idea what that means. In most cases, the expanding casino industry forced evictions on older homes and stores. But Tajima's fought eviction every step of the way, and now it was the last of its kind in the area. Wow. Impressive. Fortunately, Tajima's was popular with middle-aged folk, looking for a nostalgic taste of their youth. Plus, it attracted younger people curious about traditional snacks. Gen Z is all up in there. Every now and then, I'd stop by and grab some. I wasn't a big fan of junk food or anything, but for some reason the shop felt like home. I walked up, stood at the door, and peered inside. The cramped interior was packed to the gills with sweets and snacks of every kind. Hidden among them was a white-haired, stony-faced woman standing as still as a statue. Well, well, well. Hello, Tajima-san. Come on in. She sounded irritable. Reluctantly, I stepped inside. But though she may have looked angry, she was always like that. Huh. Hanging on the wall above the clutter was this painting with a layer of black over it. What? I kept wondering about it every time I came by. It was the one thing that didn't feel homey like the rest of the store. A blacked out painting. That is so... What? Okay, interesting. Maybe the owner just liked spooky stuff. That is very intriguing. Is that the same voice actor as Granny from Dramaticomata? I think so. Are you buying or not? She snapped at me as I stood there without browsing. Her smoke was a deep, dark brown. Not once had I ever seen it waver. I was like, taken aback for a second, like, her smoke? What? Did I read that right? But then, yes, this is the kind of game that it is. Her smoke, right. I grabbed some stuff at random and brought it to the counter. Good grief, with every passing day the city keeps changing. I'm terrified that one day it'll all go to shit. You're supposed to be a sweet old lady selling sweets. Why are you coming at me with this? This is unprompted. I came here for, for sweets and not for a reality check, please. She muttered to herself as she pecked away on her antique cash register. This old woman... Oh god, sorry, I can't speak. This old woman was one of the few who had lived here since before Shinkumi became a casino resort, and she knew what it used to be like. She would always blather on and on, regardless of whether anyone was listening, but some people found value in her stories of the old days. I mean, it is interesting to see how things change, but also, like, only if asked, you know what I mean? It was never this filthy before, I tell you. Used to be you could let your daughters play outside, but now the streets are full of slow. Okay, men and women alike, Jesus. Okay, judgmental granny. Whoa! You're one of them, you understand me? I'm not one of them. What are you talking about? Yeah. I mean, Well, no, he is looking for a new partner every night, now I think about it. But then again, why are you judging me? Like, everyone has their own lifestyle, you know what I mean? It's better than doing drugs and leaving syringes around, which probably also happens. Yikes. Never do that, people. I was about to say kids, but then I was like, nah, no kids are gonna watch this video, I hope not. Ooh, okay, anyway, moving on. I nodded absently. Truth be told, I liked her. It felt like she was the only person still living in the old times, like the whole world changed around her. Because of that, she was an outsider here. Wow.
毎日誰が殺した殺されたで死体を見ても何とも思わなくなっちまってるんだ。狂ってるよ。
God, she speaks so slowly. Day in, day out. I hear about day in and day out. I hear about all this death and murder. Now that I see a dead body, I don't even care. It's not right, I tell you.
ヤクザの言うこと聞くくらいなら、私はこの店を守って死ぬよ。
I'd sooner die protecting my store than lick the boots of that Yakuza scum. Well, I mean, admirable.
140円だ。
That'll be 240 yen. Okay. Whiplash. I pulled a 1,000 yen bill out of my pants pocket and handed it to her. Keep the change. Ooh, Toa. You sure? Yeah.
毎度どうも。
Thanks for your business. She took the money without complaint. I mean, generous. She handed me my items without a bag, and for the first time, I stopped to look at what I bought. What did you buy? Then I stuffed it all into my coat pockets and headed for the door. As I stepped outside, however, I realized the old lady had followed me out.
また来とくれよ。
Goodbye again sometime. She muttered under her breath with a scowl. Ah, friendship! I waved, then turned and set off down the road. I substituted street and road. I'm sorry, my brain works in mysterious ways. We're back to Daddy's. Late that night, Takure and I paid a visit to the local diner. Taku had promised to buy Rei a parfait, and tonight it was time for him to pony up. Oh, I love that expression. That said, the three of us usually ended up at this diner anyway, since it was still open when the clinic closed. I was downtown at the time, so they invited me over the phone. Ah, that's kind. When we sat down at our table, Taku ordered the Salisbury steak special. Rei got the steak fried rice and a parfait, and I got a coffee. Dude, you gotta eat! While they ate their food, I slowly sipped my drink. This was pretty commonplace for me. You should really eat more. And yet, every time it happened, like clockwork, Rei would tell me how it's not healthy and it's going to kill you one of these days. Yeah. Listen. Sure enough, I could hear him grumbling about something, but the moment they put his parfait down on the table, his whole face lit up. I love him! Oh my god! He's my favorite!
ここのストロベリーミルクパフェ本当に美味しい。
Oh, he's so cute! Oh my god! These strawberry cream parfaits are so good! He squeezed his eyes shut and squealed in delight.
毎度毎度そんなに喜んでもらえたら作った人も作りがいがあるってもんだな。
I bet the guy who makes them appreciates how much you like them. I like both of them, you know? Sorry, Toa. I hope you have character development, honestly. But, I mean, he is wee man, so... we'll see. But these two are really amazing. I don't know how to choose. Taku sipped his post-dinner coffee with a wry grin. He wasn't a big fan of sugary stuff, so he couldn't really relate. Aww.
毎度毎度喜ぶからもっとたくさん美味しいスイーツ作ってって感じ。
I'll appreciate anything he wants to make because he's doing great. Oh, I love him. Rei stirred his parfait with his spoon, a dreamy smile on his face. This only lasted until I put a cigarette between my lips and started to light it. Ew! Disgusting,
ちょ
bro.
っとまだ食べてるんですけど。
Excuse you, I'm still eating here. Uh-huh. Oh,
うんじゃないわよ。
don't you uh-huh me, mister.
喫煙席だろ、ここ。
We're in the smoking section, remember? That's disgusting, bro.
マナーってものがあるでしょ。タクだってもうやめたんだし、あんたもいい加減やめなさいよね。
Yeah, but there's such a thing as common decency. Exactly. Taku already quit, so you should too. Yeah.
吸ってた俺が言うのもなんだが、
This may not mean much coming from me, but trust me, there ain't nothing good about smoking. I mean, you're a doctor, so why wouldn't it mean much? What? I ignored their complaints, lit my cigarette, and took a drag. Oh my god, sorry, but he's really not fun to be around at all, is he? Like, have we seen any good quality of his yet? Except for him being kind to the granny? Like, what? He's a little bit cute, I have to say. But also, like, I don't know. I'm hoping for character development. Instantly, Ray's smoke went from yellow to red, mingling with the cigarette smoke. See, you could do it just for him, You don't have to be such a contrarian. You could just be like, okay, fine, if it bothers you, I'll wait, right?
本当にもうトアは酒とタバコばっかり。
He's so cute.
あんなにいい絵を描くのに実態なんてこんなものよね。
I swear to God, everything's cigarettes and alcohol with you. You're such a great artist, but you're so boring. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying just now. Ray let out an exaggerated sigh. Sulking, he put his elbow on the table and his chin to his hand.
歴史上の有名な画家も変人が多いからな。ある中から異常な女好きまで様々だ。
All the most famous artists were weirdos, Alcoholics, womanizers, all different stripes. Yeah.
どこかしら変わってるから芸術面では突出してるってこともあるんだろう。
Maybe it's that weirdness that makes him so artistic. Yeah, maybe it's the depression that makes him so artistic. I don't know. I feel like sadness is a great motivator when it comes to art.
でもそばにいたらすごい嫌よ。迷惑よ。今身をもって体感してるわ。
I guess so, but I'll tell you one thing. It doesn't make them fun to hang out with at all. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Oh my god.
に関してはもう諦めろ。昔からこういうやつだ。
Well, you're wasting your time complaining about Toa. He's always been like this. Why are we all hanging out? Like, what? It was the harsh truth.
その割には可愛い趣味があるのよね。
And yet he has a secret cute side. Yeah. That's probably the lovable quality about him. I feel like he has a really cute side. A devilish grin crept up on Ray's face.
趣味
Cute side.
部屋にずっと置いてあるウサギのぬいぐるみよ。興味ないとか言うくせに捨てないじゃない？実は好きなんでしょ。
I'm talking about that little bunny plushie you have in your room. You say you don't care about it, and yet you never throw it away. You like it, don't you? I mean, that is also very cute, but also he has a cute side to his personality, aside from a plush toy. No, I don't like it or anything, Baka. I did have a bunny plushie in my apartment, but I wasn't particularly attached to it. I just randomly spotted it at a store one time, and I wanted to buy it, so I did. Cute. I hadn't really touched it or thought about it since, and now it sat collecting dust in the corner. Still cute.
夜はこっそり抱いて寝てたりするんじゃないのか?
You sure you don't snuggle with it at bedtime? Aww!
やだ、とあったらそんな可愛いところあるの?
Oh my god! Are you like secretly super adorable? As Taku teased me, Ray joined in. Ignoring their idiocy, I turned away and took another slow drag on my cigarette.
そういえば今日はデスマッチには行かないのか?
That reminds me, aren't you going to the deathmatch arena tonight? What the fuck? Where's this conversation derailing to? What?
今日はお休み。チームメンバーの都合もあるからね。
Deathmatch? No, not tonight. One of my teammates had to cancel.
そうか。
I see. Uh-huh. Okay, what is happening? What? Excuse me? Is this where Togainu no Chi comes in? What? The deathmatch area was a special section of town located in District A at the center of Shinkumi. It was once ground zero for a lot of Takasatogumi infighting. As a result, the whole district was torn apart and residents were barred entry. Okay. Naturally, this attracted a lot of CD types. Eventually, it became known as a place for fistfights, and people started using it as a battlefield to test their strength. Nowadays, anyone who wanted to fight could meet up in District A to take part in what was now referred to as a death match. Ugh. Of course, the Takasatogumi had noticed this, but they chose not to interfere. Is this Togainu no Chi? Are they distributing drugs to people? What? Okay. Here in Shinkumi, plenty of people were frustrated with the tyranny of the Takasatogumi, not to mention the struggles of living in poverty. So the Takasatogumi let them have their death matches in District A if it meant they could vent their stress. Their one restriction, they would hassle anyone who tried to live there or start a business there. Other than that, the Takasatogumi didn't get involved. Okay. Believe it or not, taking part in death matches was something of a hobby for Ray. He always went with his buddies from Roost. Wow, I did not expect that. Supposedly, they were actually among the top contenders, but death matches weren't my thing, so I didn't know if that was true. How are they not your thing? Didn't you say that you only felt alive when you were, getting down and dirty with people, or when having a death match? Isn't this like a death match? I mean, they wouldn't hold back, right? Judging from their looks, you wouldn't think they were seasoned fighters, except for the rare occasions they turned up sporting cuts and bruises.
楽しんでやってるなら構わんが、あんまり羽目を外すなよ。
I don't mind if you're just having a little fun, but don't get too crazy.
最近じゃデスマッチも昔より悪質な奴らがうろついてるらしいじゃないか。
Lately, I've heard there's been some real nasty types lurking around.
まあね。でもそういうやつらもまとめて吹っ飛ばすのが楽しいのよ。スカッとするわ。
Yeah, I know, but it's super fun to kick their asses. Nothing feels better. Wow, I did not expect that side to him.
そうか。ま、しばらくは高里組も荒れるだろうから、お前たちも気をつけろよ。
Alright then, I imagine the Takasatogumi is gonna have a rough time ahead of them, so both of you just keep your heads down. Do they know that I'm related to them?
上の連中はともかく、チンピラどもがトラブルを起こすかもしれん。
Don't know if the low-ranking goons will start any shit, but the bigger ones almost certainly will. Exactly. But, do they know about Wee Man? How much do they know about us?
そうなったら拳で鎮圧しちゃうから大丈夫。
That's okay, they can try, but I'll just shut them up with my fists. Okay! To prove his point, Ray flashed up his fists. Taco grinned wryly.
拳を振るうのはデスマッチだけにしとけよ。
Save the punching for your death matches, alright? I did not expect this to his character. Not sure I like
もち
it.
ろんパフェおごってもらったし言うこと聞きます。美味しかった。ありがとう。大満足。
Oh, I will. You bought me parfait, so I'll do whatever you tell me, TBH. It was super good. Thanks a bunch. TBH, to be honest. In a blink, Ray had polished off his parfait. He set down his spoon with a satisfied smile.
それじゃ、明日もあるし帰るか。
Well, we've got work tomorrow. Let's call it a night. I hate it when people say
そ
welp.
うね。また明日。とはちゃんと寝なさいよ。
Doa.
飲みに行ったり男を引っ掛けに行ったりしちゃダメだからね。
Right. See you tomorrow. And Toa, you better get some actual sleep. No bar hopping, no hookups. You hear me? You want to be my hookup? Yeah. Yeah, that was so sincere. That was the sincerest of sincere. Totally believe you there. With a non-committal response, I crushed my cigarette in the ashtray. Taku rose to his feet, grabbed the check, and took it over to the register.
ごちそうさま。
Thank you for treating me. Right as Ray got up, he suddenly turned back to me.
あら、そういえばあんたもおごりなの？
Wait a minute, he's paying for yours too? That's what I was thinking as soon as he got up. Why would he pay for our drink? What?
コーヒーしか飲んでないからな。
Well, I only ordered a coffee. But still! Whenever we went out to eat, Taku would always pay for my order, probably because it was only one extra drink. But still! Ray donned a melodramatic frown and glanced at me out of the corner of his eye.
なんかあんたって周りから妙に甘やかされてるわよね。ふらふらしてて危なっかしいからかしら。
Everyone
野良
always
猫みたいな感じ？
waits on you hand and foot, don't they? Are they scared you wander away like a stray cat? That's exactly the feeling he gives off, doesn't he? That's exactly the feeling.
さあな。
Like he's cute and you kind of want to butter him up, you know, and be all fwa with him. But also, if you think about it, he really ain't shit, you know. But also, he's so cute that you kind of want him to stick around too. He is exactly like a cat. What? I shrugged, and together we headed for the exit. That is hilarious. That is actually hilarious. I love that. Oh my god. The next day, 1:23 p.m. Jesus. I wasn't scheduled to work at the clinic, so I woke up around noon. Taku came up to my room on his break and invited me out to lunch. Aw. Ray wasn't scheduled to work until later in the afternoon. Ray wasn't scheduled to work until later in the afternoon, so he wasn't around yet. That's too bad. I got dressed, then accompanied Taku out of the building. Who are we going to go for? Ray or Taku? Because I like both of them. But I don't know what it is about Ray. But he's a ray of light, a ray of sunshine. Thank you for waiting. The manager set down 2 mugs of coffee, followed by 2 plates of their famous honey toast. Honey toast sounds delicious. Once everything we ordered was on the table, he bowed quietly and headed back into the kitchen. This looks so nice. And is Taco paying again? And is Toa just okay with it? In these parts, Yanagawa Cafe was a popular lunch spot. Obviously, it looks amazing. The place first opened over 20 years ago, and the building's retro, read outdated, wow, style offered its own special charm. It looks really cozy and classy. I bet the coffee is delicious. It was about a 5-minute walk from Murase Clinic, so I often found myself here. It all started when I was walking by one day and saw the dimly lit interior through the front windows. It caught my interest, so I went in, and the rest is history. The cafe always played jazz music of the speakers. Jazz is such nice music. I love jazz. And the customers were relaxed. Obviously, jazz music is, oh my god, the fucking best. Okay, we're at 20 minutes. Okay. Their prices were relatively high, but seeing as they were still in business, they clearly had enough regular customers to keep them afloat. Also, I feel like they probably have what it takes to take these high prices, you know? I feel like everything is really good. Oh my god, look at fucking delicious. The cafe's biggest selling points, freshly ground coffee and honey toast. Yeah, that checks out. Even Taku liked their toast, and he was notoriously uninterested in sweets. Alright, let's eat. Nice. Delicious. But also, is this all we're gonna eat? You know, this is the first thing we've seen our wee men eat, you know? Honey toast. And before that was candy. And then they talked about croquets. You know, like he's not really eating anything that's really healthy. He pressed his hands together to say grace, then picked up his knife and fork and started cutting up his toast. He's saying grace. Interesting. Okay. Continue. All right. I crushed my lit cigarette in the ashtray and took a sip of my coffee.
ここのは本当にうまいよな。
I can never get enough of this stuff.
甘いの苦手でもこの店のは平気なんだろ。
That's saying something coming from a guy who never eats dessert.
なあ、この蜂蜜の自然な甘さとパンの焼き加減がガキの頃によく食べたパンケーキに似ててな。
Yeah, maybe it's the natural sweetness of the honey mixed with the texture of the toast. Reminds me of the pancakes I'd eat as a child. Yeah, nothing's better than pancakes. I love pancakes to death.
ってお前こそ普段はほとんど食べないくせにここのハニートーストは食べるよな。
Look, they've even got you eating it, and you hardly eat anything. Yeah, exactly. How is he still alive? Yeah, I don't know why. I just kind of eat it.
なんだそりゃ。
That's kind of how the world works, you know? You just kind of eat. You just kind of live. Are you kidding me? Laughing, Taku slid a forkful of toast into his mouth. In a blink, he had somehow already eaten half of the damn thing. Only then did I finally pick up my own knife and fork and started eating.
でさ、もうすっごいやつがいたらしくてさ。
My nose itches. Jesus. So anyway, there was this crazy dude there.
なんだよ、すっごいって。
What do you mean
何がすごい
crazy?
んだよ。
What kind of crazy? As we were busy eating, the conversation from the table next to us carried over, filling the silence.
すごいっつったらすごいんだよ。強いんだって。すごい強かったらしいんだよ。
I mean, crazy, like crazy strong. Everybody said he was ridiculously OP.
そりゃ、高里組ってデスマッチの参加者で強いやつを引っ張ってきてるんでしょ。強くて当然だろう。
OP means overpowered. The Takasato Gumi's been scouting all the strongest deathmatch fighters, right? So of course he's strong. Wait, what? So if you're really strong, then you get recruited for the mafia? For a fraction of a second, Taku fell still.
いや、もっとだよ。もっと強えの。
No, I mean like really strong.
もっと
How strong is really strong?
真顔で何人も殴って沈めてくくらいの、そういうマジでヤバいやつだったらしくて、どうも組を裏切ったらしいんだよ。
I'm talking poker face, one punch KO, kind of strong. For real, you do not want to fuck with this guy. They say he went rogue against the whole gang.
マジで
For real?
そう。で、兄貴を殺して逃げたって。
Yeah, man, he killed his Aniki and got out of there. His older brother. Wait, what? Excuse me?
兄貴兄ちゃんってこと
Oh, thanks. What, like, his older brother? What?
ちげえよ。あれだよ、ほら、杯がうんたらかんたらって、そういう兄貴。
No, stupid. You know how those Yakuza types have a hierarchy? Yeah, Aniki's like your boss.
なあ、そういう兄貴。でもさ、それってすごい不義理ってやつじゃね。やばいんじゃねえの
Oh, that Aniki. Wait, isn't that like dishonorable, whatever? Like deep shit?
やばいよ。だから組のやつらに制裁されて、もうこの世にいないって話だけどな。
The deepest shit, man. That's why the gang had him punished. Made him go poof.
制裁。おっかねえ。高里組なら人の一人や二人くらい簡単に消せるだろうしな。
But if they made him go poof, how do you know about him? How is he now in death matches and stuff? Like, go poof, doesn't that mean they erased him? You know what I mean? Like, killed him? That's one hell of a punishment, alright. I bet the Takasata Gumi could disappear a couple guys, no problem. I mean, they own the town, so yeah. Oh, Taku did not like that. Taku finished eating his honey toast in silence, but his expression looked stiff. Probably due to the subject matter. Is he worrying about Ray? Is his name Ray? Rayo? Oh, shoot. He's my favorite, but I already forgot his name. Jesus. In this town, you couldn't walk 2 steps without hearing someone gossiping about the Takasata Gumi. Some of it was true, a lot of it wasn't. But like a game of telephone, a lot of details got lost along the way, so only a small fraction knew the facts. The guys next to us were just recounting stuff they'd heard from elsewhere. Almost every rumor was tarnished with embellishments born of speculation or assumption, and this one was no different. It wasn't easy to discover the unvarnished truth buried beneath. For example, I would never know the real Taku, and he would never know the real me. Oh. Just because we'd known each other for years didn't mean we understood everything about each other. So you don't really talk about one another? Then the subject changed to something else, and a few minutes later, the two guys left to pay their bill. Once they were gone, Taku finally broke his bitter
大
silence.
人気だな高里組は
Golly, those... golly! First the whelp and now the golly? How old are you, Taku? Those Yakuza guys are popular, aren't they? I ate my cold toast without responding. As it happened, I knew the guy they were gossiping about. What? A lot about him, in fact. Believe it or not, that fight happened while I was still in the gang. What? What? You can't just throw all these bombs in there all the fucking time. What are you talking about? Is this the dude that was calling you earlier? But I didn't want to remember him, so I actively avoided thinking about his name or his face. I want to know. They probably just don't have anything better to talk about. Yeah, that is usually the case. I shrugged and Taku nodded slightly, still grimacing.
そうかもな
I guess so. I mean, why else would you talk about something like that? It's precisely because you have nothing else to talk about. Meanwhile, unpleasant memories rose to mind. I want to know. I first joined the Takasato Gumi back when my mother died. When I was in middle school, she died in an accident. Then a Yakuza named Sakaki came and told me she was his gang leader's mistress. Yeesh! There, I learned that his name was Takasato Ryujiro, and he was my father. As a kid, I only knew Sakaki as a good friend of my mother's. I never knew he was in a gang. Ugh! After her death, he tried his best to look out for me. Then one thing led to another, and I joined the Takasato Gumi. No real reason, he invited me to join, so I figured I would. To him, my mother was a dear friend, and he would always reminisce about her. Just a dear friend? Because of that, he didn't feel like some Yakuza thug. He felt like family. Hey, kitty. As for my actual family, I couldn't remember much of them or anything that happened prior to my mother's death. I vaguely recalled that I had a little sister. What? But I couldn't remember what she looked like. Wouldn't you normally be very interested in that, though? If I had a little sibling, I would go look for them. Then again, my older siblings never once tried to reach out to me or look for me. I don't know if they know I exist, now that I think about it. That is too personal. I'm sorry. It's just, I feel like if you have a younger sibling, it would be interesting, no? Like, I would look for them, right? At the time of my mother's accident, I was injured and sent to the hospital. Maybe that had something to do with it. I stroked the eye patch over my right eye. There was no point in looking back. It was all in the past. So this is how we got all those scars and lost an eye. Even without my childhood memories, I was still right here, living and breathing. I looked down at the table. Taku had stabbed his fork into my cold, half-eaten honey toast. Then, without batting an eye, he dragged it over to his own plate. Dude, he barely eats anything. Let him eat. You're gonna eat it?
お前どうせ残すだろ
You don't want it, right? He made it sound like he was entitled to eat my leftovers. Of course he is. He always pays for your shit. He had a point, though. I wasn't planning to eat the rest, but still. Oh my god. How is he still alive? He barely eats anything. He only lives off of cigarettes and coffee. I laid my knife and fork to rest. Then I lit a cigarette, took the longest possible drag, and blew it all back at him. Oh, Jesus, disgusting.
各禁煙成功したってのに
Hey, stop that. I only just managed to kick the habit, you know. This makes you want to pick it back up? Disgusting, bro. Grimacing, Taku waved a hand in front of his face.
本当に成功したかどうか試してるんだよ
Well then, I'm testing to make sure you're not still addicted. You're a real
今
bastard.
やるな今食事中だ
Save
ろ
for later. I'm eating. I fixed him with an impish grin. Scowling, he went back to the rest of his honey toast. Or my honey toast. As he wolfed down a few more bites, I smirked at
なん
him.
だ
What?
よく食うなと思って
You've got a hearty appetite, that's all. I feel like he has a normal appetite and you just don't have one at
お
all.
前が小食すぎるんだよ
And you don't have much of an appetite at all. He wiped his mouth roughly with a napkin and rose from the
ほら
table.
行くぞ
Come on, let's go. He grabbed the check and headed over to the register to pay. See, he's paying again, and it's so natural, too. I crushed my cigarette in the ashtray, then followed after him. I hope he's taking it out of Toa's paycheck or something, but I feel like he isn't. I don't really understand the dynamic here. After we left the cafe and parted ways with Taku, I wandered around town for a while. Then, once the sun set, I headed to the park. Okay. Heading to the park after the sunset. Something I, as a woman, would never do. I feel like even if I was a dude, I wouldn't do it. Do you know what I mean? The place was deserted on a winter night, and the white glow of the street lamps made it look even more desolate. I sat down on the chilly metal bench and lit another cigarette. I wasn't ready to go home yet, so I was trying to kill time. Go to a library! As I watched the pale smoke float up, okay, maybe not in the middle of the night, but you know what I mean? As I watched the pale smoke float up into the dark sky, I heard a commotion in the distance. Several pairs of footsteps were approaching, and then they passed under a street lamp. I recognized them instantly. Ugh! Nipple!
やっぱりトアだ。
See, I told you it was Toa.
おお、本当だ。
Whoa, you were right.
トアさん。
Toa-san! Who are you people? Who are you? What? Kotaro, Mayu, and Eiji were three guys I knew very well. They walked right over to me. I don't know if I like you or not. Why is your nipple on display? This is really distracting me. What is happening? Also, he has such a cute voice.
お前、よく見えるよな。真っ暗なのにあんな遠くから。
You've got good eyesight considering the distance and how dark it is out here. I feel like these people, they give me virus and trip vibes, if you know what I mean. They kind of give me the vibes of if they're a secret ending or something you could stumble across that would only be fucked up and bad, you know what I mean? I feel like there's no good ending with these people. Yeah, I have eyes like a hawk. I can see everything very clearly. Especially if I don't dress it.
アニメばっか見てるのに。
Given how much anime you watch, it just doesn't add up.
むしろアニメで鍛えられてるのよ。
No, anime trains my eyes. And Naruto Run makes me faster. Oh my god! Look at him! He's so pretty! What the fuck? Anyway, Toa, what are you up to out here? Smoking? Oh my god! Hot! Tan, muscular Kotaro bent over to get a good look at my face. You could say he had a wild side or a short temper, depending on how you looked at it.
ぼんやりしちゃって。よからぬ妄想。でもしてた？
Were you staring into space, thinking dirty thoughts? Mayu cackled around the lollipop in his mouth. He was the tallest and leanest of the three, and he dressed like he found his clothes in the dumpster. Oh, man.
景気づけに一発爆弾でもどうですか？目覚めますよ。
Why don't we set off a bomb or two for fun? That'll wake you up. The guy in the beanie was Eiji. He was an expert at information gathering and bomb assembly. Well, interesting friends you have there. Using the power of social media, he had a vast information network that he used to collect all kinds of intel. I had slept with Kotaro and Mayu a couple of times out of boredom, but never with Eiji. I mean, I understand sleeping with Mayu. I guess Kotaro. Yeah, I can kind of see it, yeah. Never with Eiji, though. Why? He told me he really wasn't into sex stuff. Ah, okay. So you did ask. Interesting. Kotaro's smoke was red, Mayu's was fuchsia, and Eiji's was a blue-green color. Interesting.
別に一服してただけ。
I was just having a smoke.
暇ってことが。なら、デスマッチエリアに行かねえか。
So you're bored, huh? Wanna come with us to the deathmatch area? With a grin, Kotaro straightened up, not in this game, and jerked his chin in the direction of District A.
面倒だから
Too lazy pass. He said that in one sentence.
言うと思った。とは絶対言うと思ったよ。
I knew you would say that. I knew it 100%.
暇ならいいだろう。付き合えよ。元兄弟のよしみでよ。
Not like you have anything better to do, right? Just humor your former blood brothers and come with us. So they were in the gang together, right? They probably still are in the gang, right?
お前と杯を交わした覚えはないな。
Blood brothers? I never performed any sake ritual with you. Kotaro, Mayu, and Eiji were all former guns for hire that got recruited to the Takasatogumi. So all of us quit? Kotaro and Mayu were scouted via death matches after they proved their fighting skills. As for Eiji, supposedly he got invited to join after he hacked the social media accounts and websites for one of the Takasato Gumi's businesses. Of course, they were by no means the only people recruited this way. In fact, I'd heard of people taking part in death matches specifically to try to get into the gang. Yeah, makes sense.
杯って言えばよ。とは、親父の葬式に来なかっただろ。
Speaking of rituals, Toa, you didn't show up to your old man's funeral. They know about me. Kotaro smirked. I feel like it's dangerous for people to know about us, right? Like hell I would.
今日の昼に葬式があって、昨日は通夜だったんだよ。
The funeral was this afternoon, and there was a midnight vigil last night. Cool.
全然興味なしって感じですね。
Absolutely zero fucks given. You really don't care at all, do you? No. No, I really ain't. I sincerely didn't. I love him. He's so funny. But it didn't matter to me if some total stranger kicked the bucket. I mean, yeah.
いや、それよりデスマッチエリアだ。行こうぜ。
Whatever. Now let's get to the deathmatch area. Come on.
行ってみたら意外と楽しいかもよ。
You might like it if you give it a try.
ないな。
Not a chance.
もういっそのこと全部爆弾で吹き飛ばすってのはどうです？そしたら一瞬でみんな楽しくなりますよ。
Then what if we set off a bunch of bombs and blow the whole place sky high? That'll be fun for a second or two. You are deranged. Until we die, you dumbass. Ouch! Kotaro snorted and flicked Eiichi's forehead. Okay.
ごたくはいいから行こうぜとは。
They're so weird. Quit your bitching and let's go already, Toa. Come on your feet. Oh yeah, he grabbed my arm and hauled me up against my will. Once he had his mind set on something, it was impossible to get him to change it. He kept a firm hold on me as we walked, like he was worried I was gonna bolt. Yeah, well...
俺らは上からデスマッチに参加するなって言われてっからよ。なんもできねえ。
The higher-ups told us to stay out of the matches, so we can't do a damn thing. So he is still in the gang. I'm so confused. Are they guns for hire that are like, you know, usually like not entirely in the gang, just sometimes if they are needed? Like what?
いや、お前は好きなだけ参加できるじゃねえか。羨ましいな、おい。元参加者として体がうずくぜ。
But you can fight to your little heart's content. Man, I envy you. I'm just aching to get back to it. Oh, Jesus.
借金の
Not a good friend.
普段から好きなだけボコボコ殴ってるだろ。
Still get to beat people up when you're out debt collecting, right? Oy.
それはお仕事だし、返さないアホが
Well,
悪い
that's our
ね。
job. It's their fault for not paying the money.
でもいつも楽しそうに追いかけ回してるじゃないですか、お二人とも。僕も怖くって怖くって。
You say that, but you two sure love to chase them up and down the street. Me, I'm way too scared. Yeah, you sure do look scared, Eiji.
嘘つけ。借金野郎の弱みやら個人情報やらかき集めるのお前の仕
Liar,
事だろう
you
が。
don't gotta chase anybody because your job is digging up dirt on them for blackmail. Jesus.
はい、それはもちろん。新興味の情報なら任せてください。
Yes, of
あと
course.
爆弾も。
Here in Shinkumi, I'm a master of intel and bombs. Well, I feel like Toa, you need different friends. I like the other two. Can we go back to the diner, please? Eiichi donned a big cheesy smile and Kotaro scoffed. We should really get back to the clinic. I feel like this is really the dark path that we should not get re-involved with. Here in Shinkumi, as the poverty gap widened, many were burdened with large debts. Any debtor unable to make payments was mercilessly hounded by Takasato goons. And if that debt reached a certain size, the debtor would get a chip known as a web tag implanted in them. Yee! Web tagged debtors were then tracked via surveillance towers erected all over Shinkumi. Okay. They were forbidden to set foot outside the city until their debt was repaid. If they tried to leave, the Takasato Gumi would send pursuers to hunt them down and kill them, no questions asked. But like, isn't it, you know, killing them is kind of like unnecessary, no? Like, that way you would never get your money back. You might wonder how the gang got their money back if the debtor was dead. Thank you. I feel like the game, I feel like the game just knows exactly what I'm thinking. But corpses had plenty of monetary value. I mean, yeah, I guess.
ねえ、行くなら早く行こう。
帰って録画しといたアニメ見たいんだよ。
Come on, if we're going, then let's just go. I want to go home and watch my anime that I recorded. Relatable. Maya was already looking away like he'd lost interest in the conversation.
うるせえな、このアニメオタク。
Will you just shut up, you damn anime otaku?
っていうか、あのスズメ、ポップコーン頬張りすぎね。欲張りすぎだよ。破裂しそう。
Anyways, don't you think that sparrows had too much popcorn? So greedy. It looks like it's gonna pop. What? What are you talking about?
どこだよ。見えないっつうの。お前の異常な視力で見えるもんは普通の人間には見えない
What?
んだよ。
Where? I don't see it. But I guess nobody with regular old human eyes kind of compete with yours. Interesting.
みんなも俺みたいにアニメ見ればいいのよ。アニメ見ようよ。
Well, maybe you should all watch anime like me. Let's watch anime. Trust me, I've watched anime for a long time when I was still in high school. My eyes are shit, okay? People say I read too much, and that's why I wear glasses now.
見ねえよ。
So let's continue reading. No thanks.
か。
Cow. In parentheses, damn. Okay. Trapped in Kotaro's tight grip and stuck in the middle of their inane banter, I left the park behind. I don't know if I like this. Is there still a chance to go home? Hello? I would prefer to go home. District A, also known as the deathmatch area, was a place forbidden to the average citizen, not that they'd want to visit. Because no normal people ever came around, nearly all the shops had closed their doors for good. I am feeling very skittish about the fact that we didn't check the messages left by our mother's friend. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of want to know what that was all about. I feel like we're gonna get into really deep shit if we're just out and about like this. Like nothing happened. The deeper you traveled into the district, the rougher and dirtier the city became. The place was busiest at night. By some unspoken rule, that was when everybody showed up. Okay, mobile. As the four of us walked to the heart of District A, the sounds of scuffling and jeering grew louder.
おお、今日も派手にやってんな。
Ooh boy, they're really going at it tonight. Can I go? Kotaro grinned. Here, unlike anywhere else, the air smelled of dust and copper. And unlike anywhere else, everyone's smoke was full of chaotic energy. The countless colors shifted and blurred together like an aurora of reject crayons. Okay. Wow, an aurora of reject crayons. That is another great line.
平和平和。この間の見せしめが効いたね。
Nice and peaceful. I think they took the hint after last time.
見せしめ？ああ、銃ぶっ放しまくってたやつか。まあ、吊るしといたからな。
You mean the guy who was going around firing his gun? Yeah, they strung him up real good. Jesus, can we go? Our gun's banned now? Now? What? AG shook his head in response to my question.
いえ、使用禁止という明確なルールは作っていません。
No, there's
相変わらず暗黙の了解状態
no
ですよ。
explicit rule outlawing them. It's all unspoken as usual. I hate this more and more.
そのせいか、負けたことが悔しくてどうしても勝ちたい、復讐したいって新参者が銃を持ち込むことも増えてきてるんですけど
But
ね。
there have been a lot of sore losers lately who bring them in anyway to try to get their revenge. Yeah, that checks out. I don't like that. Technically, deathmatch's rules permitted the use of weapons. However, weapons gave the armed fighters a huge advantage over the unarmed, so there was an implicit agreement among the participants not to bring any. Nevertheless, as AG said, some came armed regardless. These types were seen as cowards, and they were sometimes lynched as a warning to the others. Understandable. I mean, we do not condone this
この間吊るした
behavior.
やつはリンチを止めに入った俺らにも銃を向けてきたからよ。そりゃぶん殴るよな。
Well, hell, we tried to save the poor bastard, but then he turned the damn gun on us. He was asking to get the shit beat out of him. Well,
そうじゃなくても銃や武器が絡むと試合じゃなくて戦争が始まっちまう。
and even if he wasn't, like, you bring weapons here and you're gonna start more than fights.
そういうアホを見つけたらボコって持ち込んだ武器と一緒に吊るしとくとね。
So when you
それなりの効果があるんだよね。
So when you find one of those shit-ads, you kick their ass like they're Take their piece and string them up. Works like a charm. What does that mean? Take their piece? The piece is that the weapon? And string them up is like... Okay, I think I understand what he's saying. Sorry. I'm not off the streets.
もしデスマッチが戦争になったら、その矛先は必ず高里組に向きます。それじゃ新興味がめち
If
ゃくちゃ
war
になっちゃいますから。
broke out over a death match, people would start blaming the Takasatogumi. Shinkomi, as we know it, would be turned upside down.
どんなに混沌としているように見えても、バランスは大事ですからね。
And no matter how chaotic the city may seem, there's a delicate balance that has to be upheld.
みんなが平和に暮らすためってとこか。
Keeping the peace, in other words. Yeah, you sure look like one who's keeping the peace. As I listened, I thought to myself, what does peace even look like in Shinkomi? Once you fell into the depths of hell, you wouldn't be climbing back out again. No, you'd never make your peace down here. And our little rock-bottom society played by its own rules. I was merely a cog in the machine. You really need to get out of the city, I'm sorry. But believe it or not, I kind of liked it down here. Why? Nothing worth caring about. Nothing that could tie me down. Yeah, sounds lovely. In that sense, yeah, maybe it was peaceful. Was it though? Like, I'm sorry. It's just I do not see the appeal in this. A nearby ring of onlookers started to cheer, and I looked over. A rainbow of smoke blurred together, flailing wildly. But I watched it all with cold indifference. Isn't this like sensory overload for him? So many people with so many strong emotions? Okay. So is our first case going to start up now? Our first interrogation and stuff? After I left the deathmatch area, I was sitting in some random bar getting drunk when my phone buzzed. There was a new message in the group chat between me, Ray, and Taku. Ah! Right? What do you think, Toa? Depends if I feel like it. Ah, I knew you'd say that, lol. They do takeout, so one of these days I'll pick some up so we can try it. Sounds good. It will be, I promise. Got a call about a critical patient. Come over ASAP. Oh yeah. Come over ASAP. As it happened, I was thinking of going home anyway. Cigarette between my lips. I paid my tab and walked out. It's always nice to have a drunk doctor's assistant, isn't it? Critical patient. I'm very interested. Is this someone from the deathmatch? A few minutes after I arrived back at the clinic, Ray showed up. The patient was gravely injured, but this was no ordinary patient. A group of men, possibly the guy's buddies, carried him in through the back entrance. His shirt was stained red with blood. All of them were wearing flashy clothes with lots of accessories. These weren't innocent civilians. These were Yakuza. Okay. Most of the many medical facilities in Shinkumi claimed to refuse service to gang members. In reality, a lot of them accepted those same patients behind closed doors, and this clinic was one of them. Okay. We were so often visited by Yakuza, you'd think Taku was one of them. Word on the street was he had earned the Takasatogumi's trust. Sometimes he would suddenly close the clinic or change office hours just to accommodate these special patients. Interesting. I really want to know what Taku's connection with the Takasatogumi is. Out of respect for his civilian patients, he made the gang bring their wounded in through the back, but it was an open secret at this point. This didn't scare off any of his regular patients, however. Doctors as good as Taku were hard to find. Besides, the residents of Shinkumi accepted that these things came with the territory of living here. Yeah, I feel like I would disrespect a doctor that turned patients away just because they are in a different line of work, if you know what I mean. I don't know. If I was at a doctor's office and they accepted Yakuza, I would be less perturbed than if they didn't accept them, if you know what I mean. I don't know if that makes me weird or just naive. I don't know. Whatever. I need to undress him. Next pickup line right there. With permission, Ray began to remove the patient's shirt as he lay on the exam table. The man was sweating bullets, gritting his teeth to endure the pain. Oh, stab wound? Stripping him revealed a stab wound in his side, covered in blood. He's bleeding a lot, but the wound itself doesn't look that deep. I mean, if the knife isn't in there anymore, it would bleed a lot, right? Frowning, Taku examined the cut, then started patching him up. Ray and I assisted him as needed, following orders as he gave them. There. After he finished administering first aid, Taku let out a long sigh. The patient had regained a lot of color in his complexion compared to when he first arrived, and he seemed calmer now.
痛みはどうですか？もし辛いようなら休んでいった方が。
How bad does it hurt? If you need to, you can stay a while to rest.
いや、
Nah, that's alright. Grunting, the man tried to push himself into a sitting position. Taku held out a hand to stop him.
急に動かない方
You
がいい
shouldn't
です
be
よ。
moving around right now.
手当てが終わったら戻ってこいって。
Higher ups told me to
上
get
に言われてるんでね。
get back ASAP. Jesus Christ, what happened? Injured Takasato thug. What is happening right now? Ignoring Taku's request, the man set himself up regardless. After you just got stitches? Bitch, what? Then clutching his bandaged side, he slowly hopped down off the exam table. Oh yeah.
世話になった。すまねえ。
If you're really thankful, you should respect his work and take it easy for a bit. Taku didn't bother trying to stop him. He knew precisely what kind of world this man lived in. The man snatched up his neatly folded shirt and started walking, pressing his hand against the wall for support. Jesus! He left accompanied by his associates.
見送ってくるわ。
I'll walk them to the door. Ray hurried after them. They would be leaving through the back, the same way they came in. The man's medical expenses would then be billed to the Takasatogumi directly. As Taku and I tidied up the medical equipment, Ray came back into the exam room and let out a giant sigh.
ほんと嫌になっちゃう。
God, I can't stand it.
仕方がない。無理に引き止めることもできないからな。
Nothing we can do about it. We can't force him to stay, you know.
もちろん分かってはいるんだけどね。あんな状態で返すのって本人の意思だから仕方がないんだけど。
I mean, like, I get that. I just hate to let them leave when they're in such bad shape. But they're grown adults, so I get that it's their call.
患者が望まないのであれば、俺たちができることは何もない。
We can't make them do anything they don't want to do. But then they're going to die in the next alley.
So-
Like, I feel...
そうなのよね。
I don't know. I feel like it's iffy, right? If you really do respect your doctor and you're thankful, you know, you should show your thanks by actually following their advice. You know, if he's just gonna get himself back out there and like start bleeding again, I don't know. Iffy. Yeah, I know that. Ray nodded to himself sadly, his eyes on the floor. What good eggs. This sort of thing didn't happen every single day, but it was still fairly frequent. Judging from his stab wound, the patient probably got embroiled in some sort of fight. But also, like, why was only he hurt? And to that extent? And why would he have to go back immediately? Like, what is happening right now? But Yakuza weren't the only ones who had to worry about physical danger. By this point, the line between Yakuza and civilian had blurred beyond recognition.
あとはもう大丈夫かしら。
I'll leave the rest to you, okay?
ああ、来てくれて助かったよ。急に呼び出してすまなかったな。
Yeah, thanks for coming. Sorry I had to spring this on you out of nowhere.
いいのよ。気にしないで。
Oh, it's no trouble, don't worry.
あ
He's
と、
so sweet.
明日の炊き出しよろしくな。
Oh yeah, and don't forget about the soup kitchen tomorrow.
はーい。
I won't. Oh, they're going to a soup kitchen? I love these two. I love you guys. Soup kitchen? The unusual phrase gave me pause, but Taku rolled his eyes.
先週から言ってただろう。忘れたのか？路上生活者や仕事が見つからない人たちを支援するボランティアのイベントだよ。
I've been telling you since last week. Did you honestly forget? They're doing a volunteer event to help the homeless and unemployed. Ah, okay. That's great. Come to think of it, I vaguely remember that conversation. Come on, bro. This could have been for you as well, you know? If you didn't have Taku. Stuff I didn't care about generally wasn't a priority to me. Okay, you know what? This is not okay.
あとは俺がやるから帰っていいぞ。
You know, it's funny. So yeah, gonna need your help tomorrow. I'll take care of all this so you two go get some sleep. I feel like I understand that Ray has to go home, you know? But I live right upstairs, right? We don't have a way home. We should help him with cleaning up and stuff. He needs sleep too, right? I feel like we should really help, but I don't know, whatever. At this prompting, Ray and I left the room. I don't know.
とは
Toa. Oh, I love you, Ray. Right as I was about to head out up to my apartment, Ray stopped me.
最近絵の方はどうなの？誰かいいモデルは見つかった？
How's your art coming along lately? Find any good models? Oh, he's so supportive.
いや、今のところは。
Nah, not yet. I shook my head. Ray was referring to my article on the fourth phase, Roost's company's blog. Jesus, say that 3 times fast. Recruiting potential art models. Outside of being an all-around degenerate, art was my sole hobby. Oh god. Specifically oil painting. Maybe that's the reason why you're such a, low-energy guy, because you're breathing in oil fumes the entire day. Ray liked my work a lot. When he showed his boss at Roost, the guy decided he wanted to display all my new pieces in his establishment. That said, I couldn't paint a thing without a model, and not just any model, one who met my specific requirements. Ah, artist, we are such a moody bunch. The manager of Roost liked to appraise and collect paintings as a hobby, and he wrote about all sorts of artists on the company blog, both professional and amateur. He also invited artists to send in photos of their submissions, which he would post on the site. And if he really liked a piece, he would display it in the bar. Oh, that's so cool. I love that. I love when establishments do that. Periodically, articles would go up seeking models for my work. My artist alias was Euphoria. Oh, I love that. Oh, that's so nice. Chosen for me by Ray. I didn't care too much, but apparently Euphoria had a unique style that attracted a considerable cult following. So whenever my model requests went up, I'd always get a handful of responses. That is really good for self-esteem, isn't it? that is such a nice thing. Like whenever I have this one person that commented on 2 of my videos as of right now, and whenever I saw that, I was like, oh my god! I was like freaking out. I was so happy about it. It really elated me. So to have people that are like, yeah, I want to be a model because I really enjoy what you do. That is insanely flattering. That is such a pick-me-up. Seriously. It was more of a steady trickle than a torrent, so I only checked my inbox whenever I felt like it. Oh, come on. You could at least think about what to text back or something, Don't think about it like for 20 minutes like me, because I'm awkward as shit. But like, text back something, or like, thank you for your support, this made my day, or something. Although, if you're not going to be sincere about it, I guess it doesn't really matter. It didn't matter how interested the model was. If I wasn't interested in them, I couldn't paint them. Yeah, I guess. And lately, I wasn't interested in any of the people who emailed me.
早く新作書いてよね。
Painter's block.
一ファンとして楽しみにしてるんだから。それじゃ、おやすみ。
Hurry up and paint something new, would ya? Your fans are literally dying, and I'm one of them! Oh, Ray, we love you! Anyway, good night. That's so cute! With a painful wink, oh god, with a playful wink, he strode off into the staff room, humming a jaunty tune as he went. I love Ray. I'm gonna do everything in my power to somehow get his ending, alright? As for me, I took the elevator to the 3rd floor and went into my apartment. I don't want to spoil anything, but I'm pretty sure, I'm not entirely sure because I haven't played Tokai no Chi all the way through, but as of right now, I'm pretty sure that Rin is my favorite. And I feel like Ray is like the counterpart to Rin in this story, and I'm already falling for him right now. I'm so predictable. As for me, I took the elevator to the 3rd floor. Elevator? Just fucking walk. Sorry. And went into my apartment. Okay. I live on the 3rd floor. I always walk. I don't have an elevator. Maybe that's the issue. Whatever. Then I switched on the TV, flopped onto the sofa, and grabbed my half-finished bottle of booze off the floor. Disgusting. Have you ever... Sorry, like, tangent, right? But, like, I had this... I have this very specific brand of beer that I like to drink, right? This is, like, a canned beer that tastes kind of like grapefruit. And I had one of those cans, like I think 2 weeks ago or something, and I couldn't finish it, so I took it and put it in the fridge to drink on the next day. And then the next day in the evening, I wanted to drink it, and I realized how disgusting it was. Like, I'm sorry, but like, I feel like as soon as the carbonation is out of the drink and it's like stood there for a bit, it becomes disgusting. I don't know. I couldn't bring myself to drink it. Like imagine it's like not even in a fridge. It's like stood in his dingy apartment. But probably there's like 50 billion fruit flies on there. Oh, disgusting. No. After the lukewarm alcohol, this is even worse. Lukewarm as well. Come on, man. I know you have a problem with self-hatred, but this is going too far. Flowed down my throat. I grabbed the pack of cigarettes on the coffee table and lit one. Disgusting. Gazing up at the faint illumination of the flickering TV on the ceiling, I slowly exhaled the smoke. According to the clock on the wall, it was nearly 3 a.m. But I still wasn't sleepy, so I took another drag of my cigarette. I contemplated popping some sleeping pills. Yeah, you should really get some rest. Soup kitchens are no joke. They're so stressful. Like on a busy day. Jesus. But yeah. I'm guessing on this note, Emoto Central Park. Almost sounds like Emoto. Younger sister Central Park. And he just mentioned that he had a younger sister. Hints. Maybe I'm delusional. Probably. Anyway. On this note, with this beautiful volunteer soup kitchen event thing coming up, we're going to end this episode here. And I'm going to pick this off next week. Yeah. I'm not sure yet how many episodes we're going to play Slow Damage for before we go back to Tokai no Chi. But usually in these types of games, the main story is really long. And then whenever you get into a route, the route is much shorter. So I feel like this is going to be like another 4 episodes or something. And then we can go back to Tokai no Chi. But until now, I have to say, this is really interesting. I kind of like our main character. I know he ain't shit at the moment, right? And I really hope there's more character development and stuff. And I really want to make him a good boy. But also, he is kind of like a stray cat, isn't he? He's kind of cute. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. And hopefully I'll see you in the next week, in the next episode. Until then, don't drink lukewarm fly beer, please. Treat yourself to something good. Even if it's tap water, anything is better, honestly. So just, yeah. Treat yourself to something nice. Have a great evening, and I'll see you in the next one, okay? Bye-bye.